यूपी सरकार गैजेट dated Lucknow, May 11, 2020. In pursuance of the provisions of Clause 3 of Article 348 of the Constitution of India, the Governor is pleased to order the publication of the following English translation of the Uttar Pradesh लोक स्वास्थ्य एवं महामारी रोग नियंत्रण अध्यादेश 2020 उत्तर प्रदेश अध्यादेश संख्या 8 of 2020 promulgated by the governor. The Chikitsa Anubhag 5 is administratively concerned with the said ordinance. The Uttar Pradesh Public Health and Epidemic Disease Control Ordinance 2020, UP Ordinance number 8 of 2020, promulgated by the Governor in the 71st year of the Republic of India, an ordinance to consolidate and amend the law regarding improvement of public health, prevention and control of epidemic disease or other contagion in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Whereas protection of public health in the situation like present COVID-19 epidemic and others such disease pose a serious challenge before the government and public health authorities. And whereas the legal and administrative framework are inadequate to fully and effectively cope with any situation of national and international proportions, and whereas it is necessary to provide for effective detection, segregation, and treatment of affected persons, and whereas it is imperative to provide for effective and deterrent penalties for various acts of commissions and omissions and obstructions to the epidemic and other such disease control measures taken by the state, and whereas to provide for creating and effective machinery and other framework for the purpose above mentioned. Whereas the state legislature is not in session and the governor is satisfied with circumstances exist which render it necessary for her to take immediate action. Now, therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred by Clause 1 of the Article 213 of the Constitution of India, the Governor is pleased to promulgate the following ordinance. Short title, extent, and commencement. First consists three clauses. First clause is this ordinance may be called the Uttar Pradesh Public Health and Epidemic Disease Control Ordinance 2020. Second clause is it shall extend to the whole of the state of Uttar Pradesh. And third clause is it shall come into force at once. Second point is in this ordinance, unless a contrary appear from the context, these are the definitions. Clause 1, A part, affected person means a person affected by the epidemic or such other disease. B part, conditional discharge means discharge of a person after compulsory treatment in respect of movement, meeting people, keeping social distance, taking certain medication or such other conditions as the authority or treating doctor may think proper to impose. C part, compulsory treatment is defined by the treating physician and as per protocols issued by the government from time to time. D part, district authority means the district epidemic control authority constituted under section 5(2). Section 5 clause 2. E part, epidemic disease means a disease which is contagious or infectious and is affecting or is prevalent in whole of the state or part of it. F part is government means state government of Uttar Pradesh. G part, health service personnel means a person who, while carrying out his duties in relation to epidemic related responsibilities, may come in direct contact with affected patients and suspected persons and thereby is at the risk of being impacted by such disease and includes any public and clinical healthcare provider such as doctor, nurse, paramedical workers, community health workers, any other persons empowered under this ordinance to take measures to prevent the outbreak of the disease or spread thereof, and any person declared as such by the state government by notification in the Gazette. H part is isolation. Isolation means separation of a person affected with the epidemic or such disease so as to prevent the disease or contagion from spreading. I part is lockdown, that includes subclauses. It consists three subclauses. First one is restriction with certain conditions or complete prohibition of running any form of transport on roads or inland water. Second clause is restrictions on the movement or gathering of person in any place, whether public or private. Third clause is prohibiting or restricting the working of factories, plants, mining or construction, or offices, or educational institution or marketplaces with such conditions as may be considered necessary. Part J. J part is ordinance. Ordinance means the Uttar Pradesh Public Health and Epidemic Disease Control Ordinance 2020. K part quarantine. Quarantine means segregation a suspected or sick person or group of persons so as to prevent any transmission or infections to others. L part is regulations. Regulations means the epidemic control regulations made under section 4. M part is sealing of locality, that means isolating an area believed to be home to active infected persons with a view to prevent infection from spreading to other localities and to detect affected persons for treatment and further necessary actions. N part is social distancing, means keeping such physical distance from other persons as the state authority or as the case may be, the district authority may by order direct or as may be prescribed under epidemic control regulations made under section 4. O part is state authority, that means the state epidemic control authority constituted under section 5 clause 1. Now we are on the second point. Second point tell us words and expression used herein and not defined but defined in the Indian Penal Code IPC Act number 45 of 1960, the Epidemic Disease Act 1897, Act number 3 of the 1897, Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, Act number 2 of 1974, and the Disaster Management Act 2005, Act number 53 of 2005, and shall have the meaning respectively assigned to them in such acts. Proclamation of outbreak of epidemic. Part 3, Point 3, Clause 1. Point 3, Clause 1. It said, if the government is satisfied that an epidemic has broken out and that normal provision of law and medical practice are not sufficient to prevent the spread or the control the disease, it may issue a proclamation to be published in Gazette declaring that the state or a part of it is epidemic affected. Part 3, Clause 2. Such a proclamation shall remain in force initially for a period of 3 months but may be further extended for such other periods as the government may deem fit in the public interest. Powers of government during proclamation. Point 4, Clause 1. The government may make epidemic control regulations for effective prevention of spread or control or treatment of epidemic. Clause 2. The regulations framed under subsection 1 shall remain in force during subsistence of the proclamation under section 3. Clause 3. The regulations may provide for all contingencies that may arise in the course of prevention and control of epidemic or treatment of affected persons. Clause 4. The government may by order prescribe restrictions in the nature of isolation, quarantine, sealing of locality, lockdown, or any restriction in the like nature as it may deem appropriate to the situation in order to prevent and control the spread of the epidemic disease or to provide for effective treatment. Clause 5. In particular and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing provisions, the government may take measures and prescribe regulations for the inspection of persons traveling by railway or otherwise or arriving at airports, and the segregation in hospital, temporary accommodation, or otherwise of such persons suspected by the inspecting officer of being infected with any such disease. State and District Epidemic Control Authorities. Part 5, Clause 1. There shall be a State Epidemic Control Authority with the following composition. First, Chief Minister, he will be Chairman. Second, Minister or Medical and Health, he will be Vice Chairman. Third is Chief Secretary, he will be Convener. Fourth is Director General of Police DGP, he will be a member. Fifth is Principal Secretary Home, member. Sixth is Principal Secretary Health, member secretary. Seventh is Principal Secretary Finance, Principal Secretary Finance, member. Eighth is Relief Commissioner, member. Ninth is Director General Medical and Health, member. Part 2. There shall be a District Epidemic Control Authority with following composition. First is District Magistrate Chairman. Second is District Superintendent of Police or an officer not below the rank of the Deputy Commissioner of the Police nominated by the Commissioner of Police, member. Third is Chief Medical Officer, member secretary. Part 6, Clause 1. The powers and functions of state authority shall be as follows. Powers and functions of state authorities and district authorities. A part is, it shall advise the government on matters connected with prevention and control of epidemic. Part B, it may order uniform measures to be taken in the state or any part thereof for prevention and control of epidemic. C, it shall coordinate with central government or its authorities and other state governments and their authorities. D, it may issue such orders or protocol to be followed by the district authority or hospitals or other person employed in connection with the prevention and control of epidemic or treatment of affected persons. E, if the state authority has passed any order on the aforesaid subject, then the adverse order passed by the district authority shall be ineffective to the extent of inconsistency. Part 2, Sixth Part, Clause 2. Sixth Part, Clause 2. The powers and functions of a district authority shall be as follows. A, to coordinate activities of various departments in the district in prevention and control of epidemic. B. To ensure adequate supply of essential commodities during the period when restrictions are in force. C. To ensure that service essential to community functional to ensure that service essential to community function smoothly and adequately. D. To ensure that public order is maintained in the district. E. To smoothly implement all orders of the government or the state authority. F. The district authority shall have power to make arrangement with home delivery services, provision stores, or other dealers in essential commodities, vegetable wholesalers, or local vegetable distributors to maintain supplies. G. The district authority may issue directions to keep social distancing or take other precautions in public places or during quarantine. H. The district authority may requisition any land or building for the purpose of prevention, control of epidemic or treatment of affected persons. I. The district authority may require any person or organization tentage, dealing in tentage or temporary structures to erect so much of tentage or temporary structures as may be specified in such requisition. J. The district authority may requisition motor vehicles or other movable property or resources from any person or organization as may be specified that the person so required shall comply promptly. K. The district authority may requisition services of private sector health workers. L. The district authority may requisition private medical and health facilities for the purpose of the prevention, control of epidemic or treatment of affected persons. M. The district authority may take and organize the service of voluntary social workers for the purpose. Power to issue lockdown order. 7th part, clause 1. 7th part consists 4 clauses. Clause 1 is the government or the state authority may issue a proclamation directing a lockdown on such conditions as may be specified in the proclamation. Clause 2. A district authority may also issue a lockdown order as mentioned in the subsection 1 to be effective in whole or in any part of the district. Clause 3. An order under this section may be directed to a particular individual or to persons residing in a particular place or area or to the public generally when frequenting or visiting a particular place or area. Clause 4. No order under this section shall remain in force for more than the period a proclamation of an epidemic under section 3 remain in force. Power of government respecting rumors etc. Power to take steps to trace an affected person. Part 8. The government may issue guidelines for publishing the information regarding the epidemic in order to prevent mongering or misinformation or panic. 9th. Part 9 consists 4 clauses. Clause 1. The government, the state authority or the district authority may declare reward for tracing an affected person or a person likely to be affected due to contact with an affected person who is evading detection or otherwise concealing his presence. Clause 2. The authority may require the district magistrate or as the case may be, the commissioner of police or any other person so authorized to trace and bring an affected person to the treatment center. Clause 3. The district magistrate or the commissioner of police or any other person so authorized may take such steps to trace the affected person as he may deemed appropriate, including announcement in possible localities and posting photographs and other particulars as may be considered necessary at prominent places in or about the place where he may be suspected to be, or at railway stations, bus stands, or airports to prevent escapes. Clause 4. The district magistrate, or as the case may be, the commissioner of police may issue a proclamation in respect of a affected person to airport authorities or other state governments to take appropriate steps in respect of such persons. Taking affected persons for treatment, etc. Part 10. Any person traced in compliance of the requisition by the authority or proclamation notice may be brought to a treatment center, and such tracing or detention in treatment center shall not be treated as an arrest for the purpose of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, Act number 2 of 1974. Power to enter a place and search. Part 11. Part 11 consists two clauses. Clause 1. The district magistrate or any other person so authorized, or the commissioner of police, as the case may be, may himself enter or authorize any officer subordinate to him to enter any place to search and trace any person in compliance of the requisition. Clause 2. Such officer may ask any person who is found in the company or close proximity of an affected person to keep himself quarantined at his home or any quarantine station for such period as may be specified. Disposal Disposal of dead bodies. Disposal of dead bodies. Part 12. Point 12 tell us about to carry out the objectives of the ordinance. The government may specify the mode of disposal of dead bodies of affected persons. Point 13. It consists 5 clauses. First clause is, in addition to the penalties provided under this ordinance, the government may order that expenditures incurred by the government or loss or damage caused by the deliberate or negligent conduct or behavior of any individual or an organization be recovered from such individual or organization. Recovery and losses or damages. Clause 2. It shall thereupon be lawful for the district magistrate, after such inquiry as he may deem necessary to. It consists 3 parts, A, B and C. A tell us about declare the person to whom injury, loss of or damage has been caused by or has induced and, or has ensued from the such misconduct. Ensued from the such misconduct. B. Fix the amount of compensation to be paid to such person and the manner in which it is to be distributed among them. And C is assess the proportion in which the same shall be paid by the persons or organization responsible for the ordinance. Part 13, Clause 3. Every declaration or assessment made or order passed by the district magistrate under subsection 2 shall be subject to revision by the commissioner of the division, but save as aforesaid shall be final. Fourth clause. When any death has occurred as a consequence of such ordinance as is mentioned in subsection 1, the loss shall be equal to the amount of any ex grata or ex gratia or of any ex gratia payment made by the government to next of kin of the deceased. Clause 4. When any death has occurred as a consequence of such order as is mentioned in the subsection 1, the loss shall be equal to the amount of any ex gratia payment made by the government to the next of kin of the deceased. Clause 5. Upon failure to pay the compensation or damages awarded under this section, such amount shall be recovered as an arrear of land revenue under the Revenue Recovery Act 1890, Act number 1 of 1890. Voluntary help by persons, part point 14. Any person or organization desiring to give any material assistance or personal service to affected person or other person suffering on account of control restrictions shall do so through the agency and in accordance with the arrangement made by the district authority and shall not do it independently or directly. Punishment for concealment, etc. Point 15. Whoever being affected conceals himself or evades detection shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may extend to 3 years, and with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may be extend to 1 lakh rupees. Punishment for travel by public mode of transport. Point 16. Whoever knowing himself to be affected or knowing himself to be and knowing himself to have been in proximity of an affected or suspected person intentionally travel by air, railways or public road transport or any other common transport shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may extend to 3 years, and with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Punishment of violation of isolation or quarantine order, etc. Point 17. Whoever violates any order regarding quarantine, isolation or treatment in hospital shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 10,000 rupees but which may be extend to 1 lakh rupees. Punishment for running away from hospitals. Point 18. Whoever, being under epidemic disease treatment in hospitals, runs away from hospital shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 10,000 rupees but which may be extend to 1 lakh rupees. Obscene or vulgar conduct. Point 19. Whoever being under treatment or isolation or quarantine intentionally indulges in any other obscene or vulgar or act or incident, act or gesture shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may be extended to 3 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. Punishment for incitement. Point 20. Any organization or body or person which preaches or otherwise incites any person or group of persons to violate any provision of the ordinance or regulation or any order issued by the authority or the district magistrate, or as the case may be the commissioner of police or any other person so authorized, or a treating doctor, shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 2 years but may extend to 5 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Punishment for malicious propaganda. Point 21. Whoever falsely publishes or spreads false information with the intention to mislead or otherwise harm any community or group of persons, or person shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months but may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 10,000 rupees but which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. Attack on or obstruction to authorities or officers. Point 22. It consists three clauses. Point 22 Clause 1. Whoever commits an act of violence against a healthcare service personnel, officers or employees of district administration, police, persons engaged in cleaning, sweeping or sanitizing, or any other person empowered under ordinance to take measures to prevent the outbreak of the disease or spread thereof, or such persons engaged in preventing, detection, and taking, or engaged for treatment or otherwise, shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 3 months but which may extend to 5 years, and with a fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Clause 2nd. Whoever while committing an act of violence causes grievous hurt as defined in section 320T in section 320 of IPC, healthcare service personnel, officers or employees of district administration, police, persons engaged in cleaning, sweeping or sanitizing, or any other person empowered under the ordinance to take measures to prevent the outbreak of the disease or spread thereof, and all such persons engaged in tracing, detection, and taking, or engaged for treatment or quarantine or otherwise, shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months but may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees. Clause 3. Whoever causes damages or loss to any property shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 3 months but which may extend to 5 years, and with a fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Malignant conduct. Point 23. Whoever, with the intention or with the knowledge that it may spread contagion or disease to others, does any act or illegal omission, shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine. Explanation. Whoever spits or throws any dirt, urine, excreta on a doctor or other person engaged in tracing, detection, taking for treatment, quarantine, isolation, or otherwise, shall be deemed to have committed an offense under this section. Punishment for intentional affection. Punishment for intentional affliction. Point 24. Whoever intentionally affects any person with a contagious disease shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 2 years but may extend to 5 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 50,000 rupees but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Mass affliction. Mass affliction is 0.25. Whoever intentionally causes affliction to 5 or more persons shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 3 years but may extend to 10 years, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine, and shall not be less than which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees but which may be extended to 5 lakh rupees. If death be caused by intentional affliction. Point 26. Whoever causes death by affliction under Section 24 or Section 25 shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 7 years but may extend to imprisonment for life, and shall also be liable to be punished with fine which shall not be less than 3 lakh rupees but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees. Punishment for acts not specified or not specifically provided. Point 27. Whoever violates any provisions of the ordinance or regulations or orders passed in furtherance of objectives of the ordinance for which no specific punishment is provided in the ordinance shall be punished with imprisonment for the term which may be extended to 6 months, or with a fine which shall not be less than 10,000 rupees but which may extend to 50,000 rupees or both. Abatement. Abatement point 28, which consists 3 parts A, B and C. Point 28. Whoever A. abets the commission of an act of violence against the healthcare personnel, officers or employees of district administration, police persons and engaged in cleaning, sweeping or sanitizing, or any other person empowers under ordinance to take measures to prevent the outbreak of the disease or spread thereof, or such persons engaged in preventing detention and taking of treatment or otherwise. Part B. Abets damages or losses to any property shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 3 months, which may extend to 5 years, and with a fine which shall not be less than 50,000 but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. C. Abets any other offences under this ordinance shall be punished with the punishment provided for the offence abated. Attempt to commit offence. Point 29. Whoever attempts to commit an offence under this ordinance shall be punished with imprisonment for a minimum term of not less than half of minimum provided for the offence but may extend to 3 years, or half of the maximum provided, whichever is more. Offences to be cognizable and non-bailable. Point 30. Notwithstanding anything contained in the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, Act No. 2 of 1974, all offences under this ordinance shall be cognizable and non-bailable. Protection of any action taken in good faith. 31. Point 31. It consists 2 clauses. Clause 1. No suit, prosecution or other legal proceeding shall lie against any person for anything which is done or intended to be done in good faith in pursuance of this ordinance or regulation or rules or orders made thereunder. Second clause. No suit or other legal proceeding shall lie against the government for any damage caused or likely to be caused by anything which is done or intended to be done in good faith in pursuance of this ordinance or of any order made thereunder. Power in respect of other diseases or pestilence. Point 32. The provision of this ordinance shall apply mutatis or mutatis mutandis The provision of this ordinance shall apply mutatis mutandis in respect of any epidemic disease or pestilence or such other disease affecting animals, plant life or crops or aquatic creatures. Power to make rules. Point 33. It consists two clauses. Clause 1. The state government may by notification in the Gazette make rules for carrying out the purpose of the ordinance. Clause 1. The state government may by notification in the Gazette make rules for carrying out the purpose of this ordinance. Clause 2. All rules made under this ordinance shall, as soon as may be after they are made, be laid before each house of the state legislature. Anandiben Patel, Governor Uttar Pradesh, by order J.P. Singh II, Pramukh Sachiv.